Today's news, debate over voluntary military royals Korea.
Korea elects a new president every 5 years, and the presidential election is coming up in December 2017, so just over a year away, they will be electing a new president. You also can only serve one term as president in South Korea, so every time they have an election, a new person comes in. The gentleman who is proposing this is named Nam Kyung-pil, who is currently the governor of the province of Gyeonggi-do, which is where we lived, and is the second most influential province, I would say, after Seoul province, and it basically surrounds Seoul.
That's what I was gonna say. It surrounds Seoul. You think of it, it's like a donut with Seoul in the middle.
Gyeonggi has so many people that live there because essentially everyone who lives within striking distance of Seoul or within the ability to go visit Seoul within 30 minutes, sort of like we did in Suwon, lives in Gyeonggi-do. And if you don't live in Gyeonggi-do, you sort of live in the sticks unless you live in, say, Busan. That's generally how it goes.
It's like the suburbs. You think of like New York City, it's the surrounding community. It's like New Jersey and Philadelphia and all of these other...
Philadelphia is 2 hours away from New York City.
Oh.
It's more like LA and then the other surrounding suburbs of LA.
All right, thank you.
With good public transportation.
Yes.
This gentleman is saying he would adopt a voluntary system if he is elected in 2017. That's a huge proposition.
It's a huge statement, and it's one that is not necessarily going over well and would go over well.
Even though there's a lot of people who are for this sort of thing, because there's a lot of men that don't want to go into the military when they're 20 years old or 21 years old for whatever reasons, and we can go into those. So there's very divisive feelings about this proposition. We've talked about this before, and a lot of you are definitely in favor of mandatory military for everybody, so that way it's the most fair situation for all men that have to join the military in Korea. Of course, it also does throw off Korean entertainment internationally when, say, we start talking about Big Bang, and Big Bang is not going to be able to make music for at least 2 years. I know recently they were on CNN talking about it, and they just glossed over it like, yeah, it's not really a big deal that we're going to the military. And I just cringed the entire time she was asking him because she was pitching them softball questions. Taeyang stepped in and was like, you know, the next 10 years, we're really excited for that. Yeah, well, 2 of those years, you're not going to be able to make any music or do anything together. And actually, if you don't all go in together, it's going to be longer than 2 years.
Well, you know that they're going to break off and do group, like, smaller projects during that time period. So you're not going to feel the 2 years of their absence as strongly.
I'm just using Big Bang as an example because it's the easiest example, if you haven't been to Korea, to really imagine in your own head. I had university students that were getting ready to go into the military. I had other university students that had just spent their 2 years in the military and had come back. I have all sorts of different memories and experiences with literally hundreds of men in their 20s that went into the military, that were getting ready to go in, and man, it is not really their favorite thing. Most of them don't want to go. If I had to put a percentage to it, 75 or 80% are like, fuck that. I don't want to go. I don't want anything to do with it, but I must because I'm Korean and that's my duty.
And I've had that experience as well. I've also had experiences where I taught a night class where it was largely predominantly made up of men, where it was largely predominantly made up of men who were actually active military servicemen who had made a career of it.
Oh, like ROTC type.
No, like full-time military like we have in the US. They volunteered to stay in much longer than their mandatory 2 years.
And they were allowed to go to school while they were in the military?
Yeah, it would improve their rank.
Oh, right, okay. So they have a very similar system that we have in the United States. In fact, click the article below for more information. There's a lot of information I want to include in this, but I don't want to make this video too long. This guy has a lot of good ideas to keep the military secure and protecting South Korea from North Korea threats and invasion or whatever you have. But he's saying that you can make it fully secure with about half the number of military troops that they currently have. He's also proposing raising the amount of money that he pays per soldier up to about $2,000 per month. By the way, do you know how much they make currently per month?
I don't know, but I know it's ridiculously low.
It's about $120 a month a soldier makes in South Korea.
And the other thing that I think about is I think about the soldiers themselves, and a lot of them are doing community service work. What we saw more than anything was young men sitting on buses, playing on their phones.
Sitting in an office or actually just up near the DMZ and they don't have any access to the internet. Like, they can't do anything, and they don't really take any of that experience away for the most part and then use it in the real world. A lot of them want to go to university. In the United States, it's a little bit different. People voluntarily join, and then a good portion of them can take their experience and then use it as contract work or use it in other fields, and it's different there. They're just kind of wasting time. And this guy knows that, and a lot of people know that, and so the people... The whole reason why this probably won't pass is because, just generally speaking, humans don't want change. We're so scared of things changing drastically, and so a lot of people who are against this are saying, well, it will cost this amount of money and these many different systems would have to change. And the guy's going, yeah, well, we would make ourselves a happier nation if we did this. And so... which way do you want to go? Are we trying to make progress with humanity? Are we really trying to do that? Or are we really just trying to keep certain powers in place that don't want to relinquish any of their power? It's very difficult to have a clear sense of what is going on here, but this guy seems to have a better proposition than the other side, which they currently have.
Yes.
For the health of the nation.
Well, currently they can't even equip all of the soldiers that they're supposed to have. Like, they said something, in order to have all of the soldiers that they're trying to get, they would have to include everybody on the mental health and on the physically disabled list as well, keep people in longer. Like, they cannot get enough soldiers that they need. They don't have enough guns for all the soldiers. And I also could go on a whole tangent about what this could do for the gender balance in Korea and how this could improve it, but
and
that's another video.
Yeah, and as you can see, this really isn't a K-pop idol issue at all. This is a South Korean issue, and if they were to do this, then it would build up the entertainment industry that much more robust. So it's a win for the people that like Korean entertainment for sure, but that's not really what this is about.
No.
Hit the comment section with your honest opinion and reaction to just hearing all of this. If you're not super familiar with the way South Korea conducts its military and just a few things, click the link down below and read the article. It's very lengthy, but it's also very informative. You can see both sides of the story, and it's a better article than some of the other articles that we cover, at least in terms of the reading.
I found it absolutely fascinating, so do let us know.
Yeah, comments below and click the like button while you're down there. Thank you so much for supporting us. Don't forget to subscribe for more HallyuBack news. That's it. We're out of here. Hasta luego.
Bye.